Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to do a kind of craft with me. This is I've done a few shortcuts just to make this a little shorter, but this is a design project for Artzology, June's project. And this month I was really inspired by mushrooms. I've actually seen a lot of digikits recently using mushrooms, wild mushrooms, that kind of thing. So I really wanted to do something around the forest, mushrooms, things like that. And this kit from Artzology is absolutely gorgeous. I'm using in today's session, I'm going to use, she has some envelopes and some the kind of ATC cards or journal cards. She has a set of 4 of these, so we're going to use one of those. She's also got these lovely strips of washi tape, and also she has these domino tiles as well. So I wanted to use these as well. So what I did first is I printed off the washi tape onto, I think they're Avery stickers. So it's Avery opaque or matte transparent stickers paper, or they're A4 labels, I think. So I printed them off full size, a set, and I also printed off some 50% size as well. So we're going to use some of that. And then I just obviously cut them into these little strips like this. So we're going to be using some of that. I am going to be using other bits and pieces from other digikits, and I'll mention those as well below. So my other inspiration for today's project is Wendy. She did a tutorial craft with me about a year ago, I think, using a humble paper bag. And these are some paper bags I had left from my trip to France recently, and I got this little one here, and I had one that was kind of double the size, but twice the size of this. So I've used that big one for this project. And what we're going to make is this, which is a kind of folding 3-fold folder, if you like. Decorated with some pockets, and it has some tags and cards and what have you. So this is the theme. I've called it my forest theme because of obviously the abundance of mushrooms. We've got a few owls in here as well, and some lovely stuff there. So we're going to make this. So as I said, the base of this, now for this one I actually stitched through the whole thing through. So really the paper bag just became the base material. There's no additional pockets as part of the bag at all. It's all sort of stitched right down together. So that was for my first effort. But for my second attempt, I'm going to do it slightly differently. So this is the other half of the bag. What I did first of all is cut off the closed end. So I cut this end, and then I trimmed it down to size, and then I kind of turned it inside out. So this is the outside. So I made that in the inside because it's got some printing on it, which I didn't particularly want to see on the thing, finished thing. So I've turned it inside out. So we've got the nice sort of matte side of the paper bag, and we've made 2 folds, so that when it's folded, it forms a nice neat square like this. So as you could see in the one I've made, I've used old vintage book pages, and I've used some scrapbook paper as well to kind of cover the sides as a kind of main base. So we're going to do that first. While we talk about book pages and what I used for this, I really wanted to share with you one of my recent purchases on my antique brocante shopping in France. This was one of 2 books that I bought. This one is on the French Alps, And it's just beautiful. I'm going to be probably using the covers of these two books to make Nick the Booksmith's lap book, but that's another story in another video at some point. But the pages are just beautifully antiqued, and there's paper mottling and staining, and it's just lovely. Look at that lovely kind of rich warm brown colour. I just love it, and I've got two of these beasts to use, so that is a real find. So I've used some of those pages for this project. So as I said, to save some time, I have prepared some of the pieces that are going to go on here. So on the inside, we'll start with the inside. As I said, I want to utilise the kind of opening, the two sides and the opening of this. So what I thought was I'm going to have two end pockets which open at the ends. So there's going to be an opening here, there's going to be an opening here, and an opening in the middle. So first of all, I want to seal just these two edges here. So you could stitch them. You're going to cover it up so you won't see that stitching, but or you could glue it, or like me, I'm going to actually use some washi tape. So I've got this nice kind of brown paper bag looking like washing tape, so I thought that would be really good. So we're going to put some of that on here. So I'm just going to use that to kind of just seal up this short edge here. I'll do the same on the other side. I mean, you can use obviously any washi tape you have, any nice washi tape that goes with the theme. You're not going to actually see much of it, being honest. You're really just going to see the edge, so it doesn't matter too much, really. But that's what I'm going to do here, and then just trim off the edges. Okay, so now we have our open ends, two open ends, and we also have the opening in the middle here. Okay, right, so on the inside, I'm just going to reverse what I've done now. As you can see, I used torn out pieces at the end, and we've got a little pocket in the middle. So let's go ahead and go those. So I've got two pieces. One is going to go on here, and the other one, this one is going to go here, and then the other one I put a pocket. So all I've done is I've taken the ATC card from the kit, I have just shortened it slightly, and I've punched half moon out of the top there. I've distress inked the edge, and I've also stitched that onto this piece. And as you can see, I've obviously stitched around both edges of these papers as well in a kind of uneven straight stitch. So those two are going to be put there, and in the middle I've used this is printed onto vellum, and this is I think it's like a journal card, which I think was from a Nick the Booksmith kit, and I've used one of those. I've cut off the edges and I've stitched it onto, zigzag stitched it onto a piece of vintage music paper, which is another great find in my brocante shopping, and I'm gonna stick that into the middle there. So let's go ahead and stick those on. Now you can offset it if you want, or you can stick it in the middle. I'm actually going to offset it, and I'll show you why. There we go. So that's the inside done, so let's flip it over and we will put the bases down on the outside. And for these, I have got another piece of the vintage book paper. I've stitched just a straight stitch this time all the way around, and I've also used some of the lovely washing tape, the washer tape from Artzology's kit. I've used one of the thick strips and one of the narrower strips, and I stuck those across the page, which I think's got a lovely effect. We're going to put that one in the middle there, and then on the ends we have this is just some scrapbook paper, and we've got another one of these ATC cards. Again, I've distressed the edge, cut a little half moon, and stitched it onto the card as well. So that's going to go on that side, and then we've just got a plain one. This is going to be the kind of cover, which we are going to decorate. Let's see, that could put it that way. Yeah. There we go. Okay, so we're going to stick those down. That's it. I'm just going to give them a quick roll to make sure there's some kind of air bubbles out. There we go. Okay, so those are all the sides stuck down like that. Okay, so at this point, if you want to, I love to have, I distress ink everything. So I am gonna that's that done. Okay, so opening back out on the inside first, what we have done here is I have made a I'm going to make a little card to go in here. I'm going to make a tag to go in here, and then we've got some stuff to put on here. So I have downloaded again from a Graphics Fairy, and I think some of these Graphics Fairy, Graphics Fairy are the mushrooms and the owls. So I printed them on the Avery sticker paper, transparent sticker paper, and I just fussy cutted a load out, and I think these flower ones are from Nick Booksmith, I think. But we're going to use some of those. So I've chosen this one, which is going to go, I think, there. And then we have a mushroom, which will go there. And then I've got one of these little mini flash cards here, which I'm going to put there, I think. So we'll just stick the owl down. I just love the effect of these stickers when they're stuck down with this lovely translucent effect, and the fact that the writing of the book page shows through. I love it. Just love that effect. Love it, love it, love it. And then to stick this mushroom down, I'm going to use, well, I would normally have used some ordinary washi tape, but I am going to use some of this lovely washi tape. And what we will do is cut a little strip, and now, because unlike washi tape, this sticker paper does not tear. I've tried. It doesn't tear. So I'm just going to cut a little bit off here, and then I'm going to get my decal edged scissors, and I've cut the edges so that they look like they're ripped, and I'm actually going to cut this in. I don't think I need a whole piece, so I'm going to actually cut this in half, maybe cut not quite in half, maybe a little bit more than half, and I'm going to again use the decal scissors to cut a little bit. It's difficult, but because they're not terribly sharp, these scissors, but there we go. So that's a little bit I want to use. So we'll take the backing off, and we're going to use that to stick this down. So we'll have that about there, I think, and use that to stick that down. I'm just going to run my nail in there just to make sure it's really stuck down like that. Okay, then we're going to take another, sorry, here's my decorative scissors. I'm going to take another strip of this. I want to just stick a strip down the side here. Just for decoration, not for any purpose. You could put it over here, but I'm just going to put it down the side here. You could add some more collagen if you like, but I just quite like just that strip there. Okay, so that is that. These little cards, I believe, are from the old design shop, I think. I can't actually fully remember. She's got loads of different sets of them. This one I think is the forest one, and it's got mushrooms, and I've got, you know, this one I used owl on the inside, and I used mushroom on the outside. So for this I'm using the mushroom one on the inside. So then we are going to make a little journal tag here. So all I got is some scrapbook paper, and I have, what I also did, I showed you the Domino Tiles that comes with, that is a kit from Artzology, these little tiles. What I've done is I printed a set of them onto card. I printed a set of them onto this kind of, it's like a, what is this? Parchment type paper. And then I also printed a set of them onto vellum. See? Nice see-through vellum. And I played around with those and came up with a few different things. So I actually came up with this little beauty here. So what I did is I created kind of like a tea card. So I've made a few of these, as you can see. And what I did is just put them on the back of some lined tea-stained card, and then just left a border so it looked almost like a tea card, but you can use them for journaling, little notes on the back as well. So I thought those were really cute. So I've used those. I've used one of those on again on a little piece of torn out book page, and I'm going to use that to decorate this journal card here. So I'm just going to stick that down like that. And then I'm going to add on the edge, I'm going to add a little tab. So I'm just going to quickly get my ink and distress the edges of that. These tabs, I think I got them from a Nick kit. I think it was a journal kit. So I'm just going to stick that down onto this edge here. And then, that's right. Oops. There. It is now. Okay, and then just again for some decoration, I'm going to use that other piece of washi tape that we cut in half. And if I can get the backing off. And I'm just going to use that to stick across the bottom there, just for some interest. There we go. And there we have it. There we go. There. Okay. So it fits in there. So now we're going to flip it. Oh, sorry. Now we're going to make the little tag that goes in here. And for this, again, I've used some scrapbook card, which is narrow enough, this one does fit, to fit in there. And I've distressed the edges. I've again adhered a little piece of the washi tape, and we did another one of those little cards, little tea cards on the piece of paper. I'll stick that on there. And then we are going to now, we're going to punch a hole with my little crocodile. Punch a hole on the top here, like that. And we'll add a little grommet to that. Like that. And somewhere I do have a piece of sari silk, which we can just put through there. Attach like that. I love this sari silk. Got a whole bundle of it. There we go. And that's going to fit nicely into that little pocket there. And with the sari silk sticking out the top there. Okay, so then on the front side, for this little pocket here, you can decorate it if you want, but I just felt it's had a lovely pattern on it. But if you use scrapbook paper or something else, then obviously you can decorate the pocket if you want. But again, I used one of the ATC cards. And then for the inside, and what I'm going to put in is I cut one of the envelopes out. I adhered, when I cut it out first, then I adhered it onto a piece of the book page. And then I cut that out, glued it down obviously, and then I distressed the edges and assembled it. So it's nice, a lovely little envelope which has a lovely same book page inside, and that nicely fits inside that pocket there. So that's that. And then so what we've got here is the front cover. So for this, what I did, I took the domino tiles that I printed on the vellum, and I stitched one of those onto another piece of book page. I distressed the edges, nice little zigzag stitch there, and then I cut out a small piece of fabric slightly bigger than that and frayed the edges. This is just tea dyed like a muslin, and then we're going to stick that on there, and we're going to stick that down onto the front there. So let's do that first. So I'm going to put that in the middle there, like that. There we go. Now on the other one that we did, you can see that on the cover, I've used one of the little mini flashcards, which I think look quite nice, and I put a couple of those little tea cards in that little tuck spot there. So we're going to, instead of using one of the flashcards for this one, actually, I hope it shows up okay, I think it will. On the sheet of mushrooms stickers that I downloaded from Graphics Fairy, in the middle of the sticker sheet was this, Les Champignons in French, so mushrooms in French, and I really like that, so I'm actually going to stick that. So this is obviously printed onto the clear sticker paper, so when I take it off you're not going to see the edge, the white edge. So I think I'm just going to stick it on sort of offset there, So it just shows you don't have to waste anything of this when you cut things out. So it's probably going to be quite faint, but there we go. Lovely, great. So that is that. You can also add more stickers, more of the owls if I wanted to, but I think that almost completes. I think that's enough on there. And then I'm gonna just put a couple of these tea cards in here, in this little tuck spot, like there. You can sit there. And that's it. That's very simple. Oh, they've fallen out. And that's just that. Now, probably the reason why is they could do with a little bit of stick on the edge here. So actually, I'm gonna just get some more of that sticky, that washi tape here. I'm just gonna cut 2 little pieces. Actually, let's use my deckling scissors. So it's on an even edge on both these pieces. I mean, I love the colours of these kits. Are just so yummy. We can just stick a little piece there. Kind of making it more of a, I suppose, a little pocket now, rather than a tuck, because the tuck wasn't really keeping those little cards in. So I'm just going to stick those little bits there. Great, now they should stay in better now. There we go, that's better. That's better. And there we go, we've got our two lovely ones. In terms of the size, this one is about, I think we had made this one about just under 5, yeah, just under 5 inches square. This one's slightly oblong. This one was 5 by about 5.5, yeah. So those are my 2 finished trifold forest themed pockets. Thanks for watching.